Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to 2023. Happy New Year's to everyone. Wanted to make a quick video just kind of going through some of my thoughts about Tesla and the Tesla demand problem that they seem to always have, yet continue to break records in deliveries and revenue. I wish I had these kind of demand problems with my company. So here's the thing. I think tomorrow, I'm making a prediction, which is why I'm doing this on January 1st, because January 2nd, tomorrow, the numbers for Tesla will come out and their delivery numbers will come out. And hold on, let me share my screen. Share the screen. All right. So estimates from Wall Street are about 425,000 units for the fourth quarter. And I personally think they're going to beat that number. Make myself a little bigger here. I think they're going to beat that number, and I think it's going to be a nice little catalyst. And for those of you that are short-term stock investors, I think it's going to be a bump in tomorrow's, again, barring other things happening in the overall markets. But I think it's going to be a bump because I think they're going to beat the delivery numbers. Now, if they don't beat the delivery numbers, and what you have to remember is last quarter they had 20,000 cars that were produced that were still in shipment. So those 20,000 deliveries are going to count for this particular quarter, right? Now, they might have the same issue going on this quarter for next quarter, but you got to remember, as much as Elon says he doesn't care about the stock price, I think he does. At least he wants to, at least, every year he says, we're not going to have these fourth quarter pushes. We're not going to do this, but then, or end of quarter pushes, but then he has all these end of quarter pushes. So, he sent out a letter, people saw it, and some people made a big deal, like, oh, he's worried, and so therefore he sent out a letter saying to the employees, saying, hey, let's get ready for, let's work really hard all the way till the end for a fourth quarter push. And I think Elon understands that the stock is down, and he's a big part of it. And so, he wants to make investors happy. He wants to make mostly his employees happy because remember, a big part of their compensation is Tesla stock. All right, so he wants the stock to go up too. Now he has prepped people. Hey, there's going to be a recession coming. Blah blah blah. But I definitely think he wants these delivery numbers to be good. So I think they're going to beat. And if you look here, this is from Sawyer Merritt here, who's a great channel to follow on Twitter. I'm just going to play this in the background here. There's some music. I'm going to turn the music up. We don't care. But you could see all the Teslas, not over here, but over here, that were, and if you read here, it says new drone video from Tesla's Fremont factory tonight shows that for the first time ever, Tesla has converted their South employee parking lot to accommodate hundreds of new Teslas for local delivery. And, I was in Tesla in 2018, trying to help with the push for the Model 3. Now, the company was in a completely different spot. They were on the verge of bankruptcy if that quarter four didn't go well in 2018. So you see the footage going on here while I'm talking here and all the different Teslas that are getting delivered. So I think there's a big push to get those things delivered. Also, down here, you can see some more shots of the parking lot of all these Teslas that are going out to be delivered. So I think they're going to hit these numbers. And I think, again, it's going to be a great quarter. And I think all the FUD has been because November was a record as far as registrations in a number of countries, and also also in California. And as far as this demand issue that keeps going around, like the demand issue is nonsense. All right. Let me explain two things. Number one, they talked about the inventory going up in America, right? And as far as that goes, the inventory was going up because we have the IRA. We've seen some videos now about the IRA. The IRA, if you don't know, is the Inflation Reduction Act, which is very poorly named, but the Inflation Reduction Act is giving electric vehicles a $7,500 tax credit. Tesla's taking advantage of this. So even if you were like the biggest Tesla fan and you really wanted a Tesla for Christmas, wouldn't you wait a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? If you were looking in November or October, wouldn't you wait 2 months if it means that the Tesla is going to cost $7,500 less, right? And the reason why I think they're going to hit their numbers because so Tesla, so what happened is people said, okay, they were canceling orders because they're like, we'll just reorder it in 2023. Now Elon understands that the Wall Street is unforgiving, right? They don't even they make up facts, and then even when there are facts, they twist them and turn them to make it look bad for Tesla. So so if they miss the quarter numbers, then the market's going to be like, oh, see, Tesla demand, nobody wants the Teslas, blah, 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 because simply people were waiting for the tax credit. Like, I'm going to wait until January 2023 to buy the car. All right. Now, so what did Tesla do to counteract this? They lowered the price of the car. They lowered it to 37. Lowered the price 3750, and then they lowered it the full 7500 if you took delivery in December. And they gave you an extra what was it 10,000 kilowatt hours of charge, or 10,000 miles of charge. And so what was the news twisting this? The Tesla Qs and the short sellers? They were like, well, see, look, their demand is down. Nobody lowers price if their demand is there. So why are they lowering the price? They're lowering the price because of demand. I mean, technically, I guess you could say that's demand, but it was to counteract people who are going to wait till today to order the car, right? This very simple. It's not like I don't know if these people just don't know what they're talking about or they're deliberately making stuff up, all right, and tricking people. So understand that's why the prices were dipped, were lowered, and now the cool thing is, like, Tesla actually still makes a profit, even taking $7,500 off the car, which is incredible, right? So when people are like, oh, we need a cheaper car, the car, a base Model 3 is already $40,000. It's like 40 something, all right, and 40 and some change. And then on top of that, you're going to get a $7,500 tax credit. And on top of that, they already lowered the price 7,500. Now, they could literally keep their prices that low and take $15,000. Basically, it would be $15,000 off the car for you buying it, and they would still make a profit. I mean, Elon's even said, look, we could sell the cars at zero and then just make a profit through, FSD subscriptions and in-car services and, all the things we can charge with the car, because the car is it's basically like an iPhone on wheels, right? So this is a huge advantage that they have over any other car company, because the other car companies can't do this stuff. So that's the demand issue there. And then the China demand issue, the same, like, here's the thing that's going on in China. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up right now. So I'll talk while I'm doing this. So the point being is in China, there is a lot of EV cars, top selling EV cars in China. Right, we'll do this live. Okay, so the number one is this Wuling Hong Mini EV, right? So let's look what that thing looks like. That's number one, all right? Still number one. Copy. All right, let's see what the Wuling Mini V thingy mabob looks like. We'll go to images. Look at that thing. Look, this is what this car looks like. All right, this is this. It's like a toy. It's literally a toy car. It's a smart car. Right. So this thing goes for only like $5,000, right? American, right? So this is look at the back seat. I couldn't even fit in this, right? So this is the number one. Why? Because it's cheap. It's not even in the same category as a Tesla, right? So that's the number one. So when people are like, oh, they're not even number one in China, right? It's because that thing is the number one. They're number two, right? Let's see if they have a full list here. But Wuling still number one. Let's see. All right. Now you also have BYD. All right. So BYD, which I actually like BYD, right? So they're top 21. This is January through September. And you have the Tesla Model Y here. and then you have another BYD, you have a BYD, BYD, right? So it's like all these different BYDs, and then a Tesla and a Tesla, and then the Wuling Ching Ching thing, right? So look at all these. What the heck? The Chevy QQ ice cream. I don't know if you can read that. Oh no, it's a oh, the cherry. It's a cherry, not Chevy. Sorry. But look at all these EV. There's the Volkswagen ID.4. Look at all these different EV models, right? So, and I know there's even more. There's the Xpeng. I don't even see there's Lee. Where's Neo? I don't even see Neo on here, right? So understand that there's a lot of competition. There's not this much. There's not. Look, this is 300,000. Another 300,000, 600. Now you take these two. That's over 1 million right there. And that's not even a full year, right? So understand the reason why this is happening is number one, these are cheaper cars. Number two, in China, a lot of they're trying to get market share. So what they're doing is they're making very cheap cars, and a lot of these companies aren't even making money. They're making profit on a car. BYD does make a profit, but it's a very small profit. And you see how many BYDs there are. So all these different models. So Tesla makes a huge margin on there, and they're not dropping. So when they do drop prices or they do discounts or incentives, you see the mainstream media talk about, oh, they're losing market share. People don't want their cars. It's simply to deal with in marketing, or excuse me, in selling products. There's something called a loss leader, where you actually take a loss to gain market share, so people can then get your car or your product. It doesn't have to be a car, but your product. You put it out there. You might not make money, but it gets your name out. It's like marketing. People see it and get it. The other people, yeah, and then you start raising the prices, right? This is what's going on in China. There's so many electric car types that a lot of them are not making any money whatsoever. So Tesla, in order to compete, is lowers their prices, and then also when their inventory got high, they raised prices because the demand for their cars got so high, and then they lowered prices, and they only lowered them back to where they were before. They didn't like go even deeper. So China is a different market than America, and where they are actually 37, 38% penetration of EV new sales, where like in America we're like 7% new car sales is EV. So it's a different thing. So point being is, don't believe the hype about the demand, right? Will it be a little bit more challenging? Will Tesla have a little bit more challenge selling cars as interest rates keep going up because of debt? Yeah, if you're selling something that you need to take a loan on, and the interest rates are high, then people are gonna pull back or wait on those types of things. But they're also getting a $7,500 tax credit this upcoming year. So we'll see what happens. I'm predicting higher deliveries, and I'm predicting that even with the recession coming up this year, Tesla still gets to at least 2 million, if not 2.2 million deliveries this year, and the company will keep performing until the stock price catches up. And as far as I'm concerned, I hope the stock price stays down as long as possible, because I want to buy at least 200, 300 more shares this year. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you all soon. Happy New Year.